Hey, how's it going? Welcome to News Act Tuesday, 13th of July 2021. We'll look front of papers. First up, New York Times. There's General Austin Miller stepping down as the commander of the American Army in Afghanistan. Over on the left, something about Biden, Latin America. Over on the right, $300 going to be given to every child in America. Deprivations drive irate Cubans into the streets. The deprivations are mainly caused by US sanctions. Bear that in mind as we go through the papers. Pfizer pushes US approval of third doses. Florida condo collapse. Democratic legislators flee Texas in voting fight. Yeah, a load of them went to Washington so they couldn't conduct state business. They were going to try and pass one of these restrictive voting laws that's coming in all over the place. New York Times International Edition story in the middle about Filipino fishermen being pushed out of their traditional fishing waters by China. An international court ruled that the area is belonging to the Philippines, but China dispute that and they have a load of boats there stopping people going for it. The over on the left, the story about England. Over on the right, Haitian president being shot. Down the bottom, story about a black artist being invited to show couture in Paris for the first time. USA Today, voting rules tighten. Richard Branson going to space. Florida condo over on the left. In here in the middle, story about they're not sure whether forests can recover from all these fires that have happened. They're worried that they're not recovering fast enough. Wall Street Journal, very flattering courtroom sketch of Elon Musk in the dock. He's been sued by the shareholders of Tesla. And he said in court, running Tesla, I rather hate it. He said he would prefer to spend my time on design and engineering. Presumably he means engineering the stock price of Tesla and the price of Dogecoin, something like that. Down here, governments pile up debt. Yeah, apparently across the world, debt has gone crazy now. Japan have a total debt of 250% of their GDP. Cuba move against protesters. Oil prices gyrate. Financial Times, Marcus Rashford story here. We'll get to more of that in a minute. Johnson shifts onus to companies on imposing COVID-19 restrictions. Companies, of course, very well known for putting public health ahead of the profit motive. Down here, Greensill Finance Group paid Cameron $40,000 day rate for lobbying efforts. Wow. So David Cameron was paid $1 million a year for working 25 days a year. He was basically lobbying governments on behalf of Greensill. One of the things he did was to give them access to 2 government-run emergency lending schemes for big business, and so they were given a £400 million credit line. And what they did was they gave it all to this guy called Sanjeev Gupta, who's now under investigation from the Serious Fraud Office. The schemes they were pitching were described by an Australian finance minister as economically similar to payday lending, so a scam in other words. National Post in Canada, Cuba's call for freedom. What else have we got here? Forced tech giants to pay for the news. All right. Toronto Sun, police officer died in the line of duty. Toronto Star, same story. There's a lot of cops out and about from, bagpipes. Love to see it. The cops have a bagpipe division in Toronto. That's great. The Star from South Africa, Cyril brings in the big guns. That's Cyril Ramaphosa. There was a lot of civil unrest over the jailing of Jacob Zuma the other day. The Australian COVID package. That's it. Global Times from China, there's General Austin Miller again stepping down. Underneath that, Taliban approaching the border, unlikely to threaten Xinjiang. I mean, Taliban are not going to go up against the Chinese army, presumably. Tehran Times, report reveals Saudi crimes against Yemenis. Up the top left, Iran committed to peaceful coexistence of all Bosnian groups. Good to see Iran's reach as a peacemaker is extending further west all the time. Love to see it. Belfast Telegraph, return of the 12th. Yeah, 12th of July was yesterday. Young lad doing a handstand, people banging drums, all happy. No violence happened, they reckon probably because it was raining and the Euros final was on. There is a story there about some lad getting horrible burns from a bonfire. Sorry to hear that. Hope he recovers. Irish Examiner, Marcus Rashford story there. Vaccine certs, true crime. Irish Times, there's a picture from the 12th again, some lad dressed as King Billy giving a woman a kiss on the cheek. Global tax deal, indoor hospitality coming back. Irish Independent, indoor hospitality, Marcus Rashford property. Irish Daily Mail, COVID, sweetener for the double jab. There's a lad down there, looks like he just got double jabbed, an old left-right combo. The Guardian, Prime Minister lifts restrictions despite fears of exit wave and 200 deaths a day. I guess the Tories are okay with 200 deaths a day, no problem. Johnson accused of race abuse, hypocrisy, Okay, so after the England match, I don't know a lot about football. This is my understanding. A lot of things happened. Some people piled into the stadium, caused a very dangerous kind of a crush. And then England lost the match on penalties. The match went to penalties. They missed 3 penalties. The penalties they missed happened to be scored by black players. And at the end, people were booing and jeering them and using horrible racist slurs. And then later online as well, a lot of people were doing this and lashing out horrible racist abuse to them. And then Johnson came out and said, this is not okay. But people turned around and said, you were the one who didn't tell fans to stop booing when they were booing them for taking the knee, supporting Black Lives Matter. So it is ridiculous hypocrisy. Yeah, that's basically the story. This was a mural that was defaced with horrible racist graffiti as well, so people have come around and covered it up. Thousands in hospital each day if UK is hasty. Independent, fans hit back at race abuse. 4 stories on top. Boris Johnson, football, Soviet Union, something by Jenny Eclair. She always just writes crap. I have no idea what it's about. 200 COVID deaths a day. Daily Torygraph, there's Tilda Swinton and someone else at Cannes. Vaccine passports. Down the bottom, Jamaica demands slavery reparations. They're looking for £8 billion, which is roughly equivalent to what Britain paid slaveholders after abolition. So I do hope that goes through for them. Daily Express, unforgivable, that's the racism story. Green light for Freedom Day, but go easy, alright. The Daily Mirror, the ugly face of football returns. Yeah, that lad got a bit of a bang in the head in all the violence that happened afterwards in and around it. There's some crazy statistics. Apparently, when England get into a big match, regardless of if they win or lose, there is always a spike in domestic violence. So while we might see some horrible stuff in public, much more horrible and worse things are happening behind closed doors. Daily Mail, Euros fallout, freedom, but for how long? iNewspaper, same stories. New Wes Anderson film, probably won't watch that. Metro, unforgivable racism. Boris puts the brakes on, story about the lockdown lifting. Daily Star, it is coming home. 30 degrees centigrade bulge will make it hotter than Italy. No one worried about this? Climate change, etc. Thankfully, that's it for today. If you want to stay off corporate or state media, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks. Good luck.